Okay, this is for my financial management students under the Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship program of the Davao del Norte State College. And so since we are done with module number one, we will now proceed to module number two. And for this module, we will be talking about financial markets and institutions. And particularly, we will be dealing about first is the capital allocation process. Second is the types of financial markets and major categories of financial institutions. And finally, the stock market. Okay, so first is we have the capital allocation process. So again, based on our discussion in the previous chapter or module, when we had the forms of business organization, the focus of our discussion in this subject is the corporate form of business organization or the corporation. And as you have known, or as what I've discussed before, there are corporations who will be needing capital, and there will also be some corporations who have excess capital. So how does one corporation with excess capitalization can invest into another corporation with or who is lacking in capitalization? Okay, so that is the context of the capital allocation process or the capital formation process. So as per our module, it is presented that there are three types of process, or there are three processes that may be involved in the capital allocation. First is the direct transfer. Okay, so for the direct transfer, assuming there is or there are savers or say corporation one or a lot of corporations. So for the savers, it could be a corporation or an individual. And then we have the business, which we consider as a corporation. So the business is in need of capital, and there are savers, may it be a corporation or individuals or partnerships, so on and so forth. So may excess capital sila. Gusto nila mag-invest sa corporation, and the investment can come in either an equity instrument or a debt instrument, or an equity security or a debt security. So pwede po yun siya. If the savers will invest to the corporation through a stock, then the saver or the savers will become investors of the corporation. We commonly call them as shareholders or stockholders. If the savers will invest in the corporation through bonds, then the savers will be considered as creditors and the business or the corporation will be debtors. Meaning to say, may utang si business dun kay saver, or si corporation may utang dun kay saver, who can be a corporation or an individual. So, pag direct transfer, meaning to say, silang dalawa yung may transaction kaagad. No intermediary or no middle entity is involved. So sila lang. Bibigyan ni saver ng cash si corporation kasi kailangan niya. And then of course, in exchange of that, may security na ibibigay si corporation dun sa saver. It could be in a form of a stock certificate if equity security or equity instrument yung investment niya. And it could be a bond certificate if instead of stocks, bonds yung ginawa niya. And again, if it will be through a bond certificate, so creditor si saver and debtor si corporation. So, ano yung pagkakaiba nila? So, if stockholder si saver because stock yung investment niya, he will be receiving, or the saver will be receiving dividends. And if the saver will invest through bonds, then creditor siya, so he will be receiving periodic interest payments in addition to the principal payments later on. Okay, so pag direct transfer, walang middle entity. The second and the third will involve middle entities, pero may pagkakaiba sila. So for number two, we have indirect transfers through investment bankers. So ang mangyayari dito, may entity sa gitna, pero dadaanan lang. It's just a middle entity. Para lang siyang facilitator. So anong yung mangyayari? The same approach pa rin. Si saver, may excess na capitalization, mag-i-invest kay business. Pero dadaan muna kay investment banks. So bibigyan niya ng pera or the saver will provide the investment bank the cash, and then the investment bank will provide it to the corporation who is in need of resources. And then the corporation will provide the securities through the investment bank, in which the investment bank will in turn provide the securities to the savers. So parehas lang din. The security can either be a stock or bond. So dadaanan lang talaga siya. So ano yung kikitain ni investment bank? So pwede service charge or service fees. So ganun po. So facilitator lang siya. Sa third naman na pamamaraan is through a financial intermediary. So magkakaiba na dito. May pagkakaiba. Kasi nga may transaction na talaga, may business transaction talaga si saver at saka si financial intermediary. Kasi si financial intermediary, mayroon siyang sariling securities. It has its own security in which it will issue to the saver. And then, si business din, yung security niya, i-issue niya kay financial intermediary. So, mangyayari, si saver may excess na fund. Bigay niya kay financial intermediary. Then, si financial intermediary yung magbibigay ng security kay saver. So, it will be its own security, whether bond or stocks. And then, yung cash na ma-receive ni financial intermediary, i-invest din yan. So, there is an investment transaction between financial intermediary and savers, and another investment transaction between the business and the financial intermediary. So sa financial intermediary, may na-receive na cash from saver. So yung cash na na-receive niya, i-invest niya kay business, and in turn, the business will provide the financial intermediary its security. So yung pagkakaiba lang is the financial intermediary, being the middle entity, has its own security. So hindi na yung security ni business ang mapupunta kay saver, but rather the security of the financial intermediary. So yan lang po yung pagkakaiba of the three approaches in the capital allocation. Direct transfers, indirect transfers through investment bankers, and indirect transfers through financial intermediary. So that is lesson 1 for module number 2. Now for lesson 2 of module number 2, we will have the types of financial markets and major categories of financial institutions. So ano yung pag-uusapan natin dito? Of course, we're talking about financial markets. So we will be comparing the types of markets available. Okay, so first we have the physical asset market versus the financial asset markets. When you talk about physical asset markets, there are tangible resources that are being sold. So ano yung tangible? Yung nahahawakan. For example, in the market wherein wheat, automobiles, real estate, computers, and machinery are sold, then that specific market we consider it as physical asset market. Meaning to say tangible products are being sold in that market. If the market is selling or is, of course, is transacting resources such as stocks, bonds, notes, mortgages, then that asset or mga financial resources, financial instrument, yung dinideal or tinatransact dyan sa market na yan, then we call it as a financial asset market. Okay, so mga stocks, mga equity instruments, bonds, debt instruments, itong bond, notes, and mortgages, these are debt instruments. Okay? And then we have spot markets versus futures markets. When we say spot market, it is a market wherein the seller and the buyer will meet, and on the spot, they will execute and perfect the sale transaction. So Magbabayad si seller, magbabayad si buyer, ibibigay ni seller yung commodity on the spot. So futures market naman it is a contract, or when you say futures market, there will be a contract involving a sale of a commodity at a specified future time. So for example, may harvest ka after some time, let's say 3 months, and then you want to be sure na when you harvest that say for example that commodity, pag ma-harvest mo siya, if that becomes available after 3 months, you want to make sure na may bibili, you can enter into a contract right now, and we call it as a futures contract. So si seller and si buyer will be entering into a futures contract, agreeing today that after 3 months, the seller will buy it, and the seller will sell it, and the buyer will buy it. So identified na as of today kung magkano yung selling price, magkano yung quantity. So a very good example for this is I hope you have heard about kung may mga growers sa inyong banana growers. Yung mga banana growers, they are landowners, no, and then they will be planting banana sa kanilang lupa. And then they will engage, yung layman's term niyan sa amin is tie up. Ita-tie up nila yung harvest with a certain company. Say for example, the Stanfilco, Dole. And then they will enter into contract na yung mga future harvest ni grower, si Dole na ang bibili at a specified price. So say for example, boxes man yan, no? So say for example, Class A box, 500 per box. Nag-agree sila. So after first harvest, say for example, after 2 months nag-harvest, kung 600 yung price ng Class A per box, 500 lang talaga yung babayaran ni Dole. So there is loss on the part of the grower. Pero assured siya na may bibili. Now let's say for example, after another month, the price of the Class A per box becomes 400. So yung babayaran pa rin ni Dole or ni Stanfilco will be 500 pa rin kahit 400 na lang yung market price. Kasi nga nag-agree na sila through a futures contract. So as yung example natin dito is, for example, a farmer may enter into a futures contract in which he agrees today to sell 5,000 bushels of soybeans 6 months from now at a price of 5 pesos a bushel. So meaning to say, if after 6 months, the price of a bushel of soybean has become or has reduced into 4, then of course, hindi lugi si seller. Kasi nga, 5 yung ibabayad sa kanya. If the price has increased to 6, then lugi siya by 1 peso. But the thing is, assured na siya na may bibili of the 5,000 bushels that the seller will be producing. And then we have money markets versus capital markets. So basically, from the word money, it is a market wherein, of course, highly liquid financial instruments or financial resources are being traded. So short-term, highly liquid debt securities. Take note of the word debt securities lang. Kasi hindi mo naman inuutang yung shares of stocks. So ano yung inuutang mo? Pera talaga. So money, kaya nga money market. Pero short-term lang, highly liquid and short-term. Kasi pag yung pinapautang mong pera is long-term na, then it is already part of the capital market. Yung dalawang uri ng security, yung stock, yung equity instrument or equity security, or the debt instrument or the debt security. Pag long-term na yung debt, then that already becomes a debt security na long-term. And of course, the corporate stock. So dito available sa capital markets. And then we have primary markets versus secondary markets. Say primary markets, it is a market in which corporations raise new capital. So say for example, si corporation may 1,000 issued and outstanding shares siya. Meaning to say, yung 1,000 na yon nasa kamay na ng mga shareholders. Kasi nga, pag-aari na ng mga shareholders yung 1,000. Now, the corporation is having a problem with capitalization. Gusto niya magdagdag. So, nag-authorize yung board na mag-issue ng additional 500. So, from the 1,000, magdagdag ng 500, naging 1,500 na yung authorized shares ni corporation. Now, when the 500 will be offered to new shareholders, that is raising new capital on the part of the corporation. So we call it yung pagbenta ng mga newly authorized shares, it will be sold through the primary market. For the secondary market naman, ito yung already outstanding shares. So actually, this is not just yung example ka lang, it's mostly about shares. Pero pwede din ito sa mga debt securities. Okay, so already outstanding securities, meaning to say already in the hands of the investors. Tapos, say for example, hindi na makapaghintay si investor, gusto na niya ng cash, tapos hindi pa, it's not yet the due of the security. So pwede niya ibenta. So yung pagbebentahan niya, that will be sold through the secondary market. Okay, and then we have private markets when the negotiation is made between two parties exclusively. And then public markets naman when the negotiation is done through an organized exchange platform, such as the Philippine Stocks Exchange. Okay? And then we have the major categories of financial institutions. So, earlier, we have discussed the capital allocation process, di ba, in which the second type was indirect transfers through investment bankers or investment bank. So again, sinasabi ko kanina, facilitator lang sila to help transfer capital from savers to business. Then we have commercial banks or department stores of finance. So ito yung mga bangko such as Metrobank, Citibank, BPI. So it is where savers and borrowers will transact business with. And then financial services corporations, ito yung mga corporations na maraming financial types of business na nandun. For example, it is a group of company. Like for example, Metrobank group of companies. Ano yung nandyan? Metrobank who is engaging into business with the savers, with the borrowers, with leasing, and with other financial types of business pa. So, Citigroup or the Citibank, ganyan. Or Citigroup of companies which owns the Citibank and other financial type na business pa. Okay, and then we have credit unions for mga personnel, employees who are employed in the same company. So, pwede sila magtatag. They can establish a credit union wherein mag-invest sila and then yung investment nila is ipapautang lang among the members of the union. Okay, so they have a common bond such as being employees of the same firm. And then pension funds, example of this is yung mga GSIS, SSS, and then they have life insurance companies, the likes of Sun Life, ganon. Cocogen, then we have mutual funds, exchange traded funds, and then hedge funds, and then private equity companies. Okay, so that ends lesson number 2 for module 2. And then we have the stock market now. So when I talk about stock market, how do we define that? Stock market is where the prices of firm stocks are established. It is the most active secondary market. Ano nga yung secondary market? Meaning to say yung authorized share capital na nasa issued and outstanding. Outstanding share capitals which are already in the hands of the investors, dun yan iti-trade sa secondary market. Okay? So there are two basic types of trading stocks. Yung talaga, yung may physical location. It could be dito sa Philippines through the Physical Stocks Exchange. And then mayroon din naman na may mga dealer electronically. So doon ka mag-transact sa kanila. So that will be electronic dealer-based na market or exchange. And then we have two types of corporation. The closely held corporation, which is owned primarily by a certain family. And they are not opening the corporation for investors nga hindi nila kilala or not open to the public. Okay? And then publicly owned corporation naman, these are corporations whose stocks are being traded publicly. Meaning to say anyone can become an owner. So for example, the Jollibee Corporation, traded yung stocks nila publicly. So you can invest, you can become a part owner of Jollibee. Okay? So how about closely held corporation? Example of that is the LYR Corporation. Sino lang yung mga investors niyan? Usually the family members and the friends and the relatives of the family. Okay, so ganyan yung example. Then we have the secondary market and the primary market, which we already have discussed earlier. May nadagdag lang. The initial public offering. Yung closely held corporations, yung investors nila, again, as what I've said, are only family members and the close friends or yung mga kilala lang ng the incorporators. If the closely held corporation will decide to make their shares public or their stocks public. So meaning to say, from being a closely held corporation, they wanted to become a publicly owned corporation. So i-offer nila yung shares nila to the public for the first time. So saan nila yun ibebenta? That will be through an IPO market or the initial public offering market. So ano yung process when they decide to make their stocks available for the public to invest? Then they are said to be going public. So it is the act of selling stock to the public at large by a closely held corporation or its principal stockholders. And then we have market price. So when you talk about the market price, when you are to invest in a certain corporation, yung value, yung market price ng stock niya today, then yung current price or the current price of the stock today, that is considered as the market value. And then we also have intrinsic value. So intrinsic value is the true value, the real value of the stock. Kailan natin yan nadidetermine? The answer is it's hard to determine because you really have to know all the knowable information about a stock. You say knowable, meaning to say lahat ng considerations dapat na nalaman mo. Dapat alam mo, you consider the trend of that company, its profitability, yung trend ba niya is upward or downward? And then even the economy of the country where that corporation is operating, dapat alam mo din kung ano progressive ba. Kasi nga, if you invest, yun yung mga considerations mo. Although babayaran mo lang is the market price, but the real value, the intrinsic value, must consider all informations or all information that must be put into consideration para at least assured ka of your return. Kasi yun naman talaga yung purpose ng investment, that you will be receiving something in return na hindi ka malulugi. And then we have the equilibrium price. Of course, in the market, there will still be supply and demand. So, supply, meaning to say, magsusupply ng capital. And then may magde-demand ng capital. So, where do they meet? So, say for example, mas marami yung nagsusupply ng capital, kunti lang yung demand. So, there will be overage. And then if the demand is too much as compared to the supply, then there will be shortage. So, at the level in which these the two forces will meet, that is called the equilibrium. It is that level that we will be able to determine. It is in that level that we will be able to determine the equilibrium price. And then we have the efficient market. It is a market in which prices are close to intrinsic values and stocks seem to be in equilibrium. So basically, when you are to study the equilibrium point, the level, so basically the market there is considered to be efficient.
Okay, so this is the discussion for the, again, module 2 of the financial management under the BS Entrepreneurship program. Okay, so that's all.